Ollie was diagnosed with food allergies, I was highly independent and relished my diverse identities. Wife, daughter, model, wellness thought leader, and topless yogi, to name a few. Ollie's diagnosis added food allergy mom to that list, and almost instantly, that became my one and only identity. Ollie became my sole life's mission because his life was at stake. His health couldn't just be a priority, it had to be the only one. And if I briefly remembered that I was a person with her own needs, I felt selfish because my well-being didn't feel like a priority. I held on to the notion that if I was tough enough to endure childbirth or the Paris Marathon, I could surely get through something like caregiving for a child with food allergies. I'm not sure why, as a parent or caregiver, we are so hard on ourselves and try to pummel our way through life. Eventually, after burning out, I realized all of this pushing through wasn't working for me or aligned with how I wanted to live my life. So I began to think of softness as my strength. Maybe this idea can help you if you're feeling the same way that I did. For over a year, my life revolved around Oliver and his allergies. I was 100% devoted to him and his healing journey, ignoring how obvious this approach wasn't working. I grew tired after days, months, and years of overlooking myself and what I needed to feel restored. I was short-tempered, I felt hopeless, raw, my marriage and career took a backseat. A way backseat. I was desperate for a day alone, but couldn't even give myself 30 minutes. I no longer knew who I was and didn't recognize who I'd become. I wanted to quit. Then one day, my mother asked how I was doing. And for the first time in so long, I didn't hide behind the answer I thought I was supposed to give. I told her the truth. I was a mess. I was burnt out. I was empty. I was so overspent emotionally that I was close to numb. I barely felt anything about Ollie's allergies. I barely felt anything about anything. I didn't think I could keep going. I didn't want to. I felt like no one knew how to take care of Oliver the way I could, and I desperately needed others to learn so I could lean on them for help and support. This realization and hearing myself speak it aloud was a turning point for me. Of course, your child's health should always be a priority, and after a food allergy diagnosis, it's crucial that you stabilize and proactively work to make their life safer. But your well-being is equally important. Your health and your child's are not mutually exclusive. They're intertwined. You deserve to feel better. You deserve not just to feel like yourself, but to take care of yourself too. You are also worth your devotion. After that talk with my mom, not making a change was no longer a choice. There was no further bottom I felt I could hit. I needed to take care of and nurture myself, to return to and restore me. I did, and I'm excited to share how I did it and the tools I created to help you do the same. In this module, you'll begin to set your goals, dreams, and the in-betweens to take deep care of yourself as you practice caregiving for your child with food allergies. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to identify and practice ways that restore yourself and your identity, even the littlest things, because you can't pour from an empty glass. Over time, I became so overwhelmed and stretched so thin that I knew I couldn't go it alone. I intuitively knew that I needed an accountability buddy. In my experience, having a responsive friend made change more believable and goals more sticky, especially when I wanted to give up. I recruited my friend Marcy, one of the many close friends I'd made in my food allergy community, whom I knew was struggling with similar issues. Marcy and I made a pact to work towards restoring ourselves, identifying and achieving our goals, and creating the time we needed to do it. We decided that we'd give ourselves realistic and achievable goals for the month and consistently check in and cheer each other on. It was exciting and a little scary. At first, we waffled about our hopes and dreams and the goals we'd pick until one day I sent Marcy a voice note, our choice of communication, and got really clear on what I wanted. I spoke my goals into existence, and Marcy sent me a voice note back where she did the same. Knowing that we could depend on each other's accountability empathy, and understanding made our goals feel even more attainable and worthy. Our goals weren't random. We'd been thinking about and discussing them for a while, but neither of us had managed to do anything about them. Marcy's goal was to find a preschool for her son, Jack, that was willing to provide care with an epinephrine autoinjector in the case of an emergency so that she could return to her career during school hours. She identified that having a career, in addition to full-time motherhood, because that's also a career, would allow her the opportunity to have another source of pride and accomplishment that would make her feel rejuvenated and restored. These goals aligned with the vision she had for and of herself. My goal was to just get out of the house. It was actually to get childcare in my house within 1 month. To be honest, I wasn't sure what my child-free time would look like once I had outside care for Oliver, but I trusted my instincts and that I needed to heal and have the opportunity to create something purposeful and consistent in my life. Being a mother is also this, but I recognized I needed something additional to find a new balance and keep my motherhood fire burning. Knowing that I was working toward my goal while Marcy was working towards hers fueled my enthusiasm to complete what I'd set out to achieve. We both met our goals incredibly. She returned to the job she had previously and found a great new school that would provide proper care for her son. I hired an excellent babysitter, which allowed me time to think through working towards my goals, such as creating this course, and allowed Ollie to practice his bravery while learning to trust other vetted caregivers. Marcy and I witnessed each other cross over the fire, so to speak, and transform from overwhelmed and anxious food allergy mama to a more restored state with multiple purpose-driven identities. It did not happen overnight. It was a long journey full of ups and downs and continues to be. And that's why we're still texting about our goals today. Now, on to your goals. What will they be? Do you want to start small and plan to spend an hour a week outside on a walk so you can have time to yourself? Once you plan a night out or a short trip with your partner or friend, might you feel more like yourself again? Or do you want to go big and turn your hobby into a side hustle? Your callings and longings are vital in maintaining and restoring yourself and your identity. I know how easy it is to sacrifice what feels like everything to protect your child. Maybe you're feeling this way too, and I see you, and you are not alone. When you're ready, I'd love to help you by providing you with the framework that will allow you to finally move on to serving yourself the self-care you require to keep your oxygen mask on. You deserve to feel better. You deserve not just to feel like yourself, but to take care of yourself too. You are also worth your devotion. I mean that. Press pause. Go back 10 seconds and listen to it all over again. You are worth your own devotion. I can't wait to see you in the next exciting pillar.